Okay, here's another bedside guitar lesson. The last time I was showing you scales. Today I'm going to show you chords. Hopefully I can do this and screw it up. But the first chords, you know these chords probably already, but they're called open chords. Let me get this camera kind of in a good spot here. I'm having a little problem here, but we'll fix it in a second. Okay, come on. All right. So here is like open chords, E. A lot of guitar books will have 1, 2, 3. Like, I tend to go 2, 3, 4. There's a reason for that, and I'll show it later. Oops. So that's E. Then there's also D, A, G, F. Now you can also play F this way, but also this is where we call a bar chord, and I'll get there in a minute. But anyhow, the open chords are these ones: E, D, C, G, A. B7th is another one. You can kind of see this here. Here's the root. Here, the rest of the chords. So anyhow, these are all usually, you'll hear these in different songs, and after a while you listen to stuff on the radio and you actually know what chords they're playing just because of how they sound. You played these so many times before. So if you hear the Eagles, a lot of times they're going. And it's in the key of G. You just kind of know that. Well, anyhow, so those are open chords. There's another type of chord which helps you, and it kind of also you can explain it. It's bar chords, but it also these chords, depending on what key you're in and how you work it, they call it diatonic harmonization. But so you saw me doing the E chord like this: 2, 3, 4. If I move it up 1 and I put down my first finger all the way across, that's called a bar. Okay, there's F, which that's the F note. That's an F note, and they're all F notes. And by the way, a little secret, within that chord, these two, just these alone. Well, actually, you could do the chord with those two notes, but if you really wanted the fullness of the chord, you would have that. Again, you'll hear this sometimes as people are playing lead or something. They'll go, they're in like the key of F, they'll go F, then they'll move up. Okay, so now I'm getting to the diatonic harmonization part, which is, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, T, do. So no different than the usual melodic scale. But anyhow, that's in the key of F. So you can hear that a lot of times in songs. You hear them go. That's just going right up the melodic scale. Now, blues, a little bit different. Blues, they call it 1, 4, 5. 1 being the first part of the scale, which is usually F, or if you're in the key of G, here's G, it would be G, but basically you're starting here. You know, so if let's just move it up to G, make it a little bit easier to see. We're going to be in the key of G. So, you know, and then I'm doing this little rock and roll thing with my little fourth finger, but you can do this here. Now you're in what's called the fourth position, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, by the way, the next chord will be 5. So blues is like this. And you can put all kinds of things onto that when you get better at it. Again, back down to the root, which is G. So 1, 4, 5. And you'll hear songs that are variants in that, so it'll go. Now this is actually not what it looks like. It's actually a C ninth. In other words, it's the ninth. It's the ninth chord of this bass C, but like this. So I went from the 5th, 9th, 4th, 9th to the G. Back up again. So that's how blues chords, and then this bar chord, wherever you have this bar, this finger, you can do all of your blues scales right here. You're hooking your finger on this fret. So we're in the key of G, so. Sorry, I screwed it up. But what I guess what I'm telling you basically is you can build a whole solo of just around these 2, 3, or 4 frets using the blues scale. And of course, after a while, you get better at it. You go. Again, it depends on what kind of music you want to play. But anyhow, those are some of the chords you can get into. Try those out, see if they work. And again, if it works in G, move it up to A, or to B, or C, or D. All the stuff that I just did down here works in these other positions. Again, the main thing is you know that this is a C note, the 8th fret. You hook your finger like this. You've already got the bar chord, okay? And it's very easy once you've hooked your finger to go, because this doesn't have to move. So not only that, if you've hooked it like this, you can easily go. And you didn't move at all. And that's another thing. For lead guitar, I keep my fingers a finger per fret. You'll see a lot of very famous guitar players like Santana. He'll go. He'll do that kind of stuff, and he rarely uses his little finger. If you want to be a little bit more efficient and easier, it means you got to make this finger, which means you have to practice, make it stronger. But if you'll do that, then you don't have to move and stretch and get out of position trying to get up to this other thing up here. So just for what it's worth. All right. Well, that'll be enough for tonight, and talk to you later.